Jesus Christ. Have 1 week off, forget how to do everything. We're here. We made it. We made it just. Well, at least I did. Just watched 1 million points get scored between the Knights and the Titans. 1 million points. It is Sunday, August the 16th, 2026. Welcome to the Sunday Sesh Podcast. Back after a spell, back after a week off, back after a week of sunshine and lollipops up on Hamilton Island. I've bloody forgotten how to do everything. I just had the stream on private for the last 10 minutes, wondering why no one had popped in. Jim Jones is in. What's up, boys? What's up? Hello, Jim. How are you? Just been sitting here for 10 minutes wondering why no one's jumped in yet. Getting ready for the start. Worked out that I had it set to private, so that was good. 1 week off nearly killed me. How are you, Jimbo? You good? Jimbo's loving the wires. Yeah, he's good. That's good, mate. Wires are up. Very good. All right, big show as always, brought to you by drinkhopper.com.au for all your alcohol replacement beverages. drinkhopper.com.au/the Sunday Sesh for 15% off all your golf content, brought to you by DBG Gloves. dbggloves.com for tour level golf gloves at a fraction of the price. Doing some great things with the slices, DBG, and as always, supporting the podcast. Follow us on socials if you're not already. The Sunday Sesh Pod on Instagram, the Sunday Sesh Pod on, or the Sunday Sesh on Facebook, the Sunday Sesh Pod on TikTok. And if you're already watching me here on YouTube, then you've already got it. Well done. Please like, comment, tell your friends to subscribe. I bet you that announcement was someone asking what week scoring is again. It's good to be back. I'll be a little bit rusty. The link has not disappeared for scores, mate. Jesus, trying to run a golf club with super intelligent people not going well. Hello, Leary. How are you, mate? How are you feeling? Jesus. How hard is it? Anyway, how you feeling, Leary? Leary had a run-in with a kangaroo last night. We're watching the Tigers and the Dragons. Geez, we're off to a good start. We're watching the Tigers and the Dragons. Could this rival last week's game as the worst game ever? Potentially, possibly. There's a very good chance. It could rival last week's game as the worst one ever. Who we got? Pick your scores, boys. I'm going the Dragons. Going the Dragons. 14-6. Dragons 14-6. Not going to be a high scorer because they're both inept. They're both inept. We'll talk a little bit about the goings on in Hamilton Island. There's a bit of funny stuff that went on there. We'll update on the golf. How's the tattoo bet going, you reckon? I reckon you got a good idea. We'll update what's going on with the slices. The Book of Feuds is back. I haven't had a real Book of Feuds for a while, but I've got a feuding hard. A lot of good footy this weekend. Yeah, there has been some good footy, Jim Jones, for sure. A couple of good games, a couple of rubbish games, a couple of teams trying really hard not to make the eight. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about the brilliant news of Laurie Daly forcing Billy the Grub to retire from State of Origin coaching or resign from Queensland. We'll have a look at how the footy's going. We'll wrap all this weekend's games. We'll preview all next week's games and anything else you Muppets come up with in the chat in between. Some of the welcome to countries for the Indigenous round have been absolutely outstanding, I would have to say. The bloke at the Broncos game, he was fired right up. Yeah, Dragons 30-0. Do you reckon the Dragons... The only reason I said 14-6 is because I don't think the Dragons could score 30 points. Dragons can't score points. Tigers are woeful. I'm going 14-6. Dragons 26, Tigers 14. Good games is an interesting take, Jimbo. I've seen some woeful footy end up in high score, close scoring games. Do you count them as good games just because they're close on the scoreboard? Seen some horrible footy. The frauds are back being the frauds for sure. That's confirmed. How good is that? Luai lets in 4 tries. Okay. Luai man of the match again. We'll put him in a Dragons jersey this time. Tigers are in all sorts. You would have called this spoon bowl, except that you'd call it spoon bowl, except that Broncos are. Hey, good on you. You'd call it. Someone's just banged on my garage door. Carrying on. I'm going to go out there and throw headbutts. We're going to be feuding. If it was Sesh Jr., I'm going to kill him. I can tell you that much. How great is the essence of life? Hello. Parramatta had a win. Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable scenes. Parramatta had a win. I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about before someone scared the shit out of me banging on the door? A minute and 30 seconds gone. 0-0. It's going to stay 0-0. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Steve Leary, how's your back, mate? I've asked a couple of times. You all right, mate? I'm worried about you. Para scored more points last night than Manly has in 6 weeks. Yep. 100%. 6 weeks? We've been going that bad. We might have. It was Coulter. So the idiot who had 20 points today didn't put a pineapple up. I've had to bar Coulter from pineapple bets for his own good. Also a Cronulla supporter. That was the idiot banging on the door. Sounded like him. I'd welcome you into the podcast, mate, except no one likes you. Funny fella. He's convinced that the Sharks were robbed. Do we think the Sharks were robbed? I don't think the Sharks were robbed. I think they're just fucking useless. Absolutely useless. What about the Wars, Jim Jones? You got to be fired up. Jim Jones has got to be fired right up. So I'm the only one here. Well, no, me and Coulter. Me and Coulter are the only ones here, if he's still here, who haven't had a win this week. I can tell you, Jim Jones, funny story, maybe not funny story. I get a lot of my golf gear off Wade Egan's brother. If I got on your podcast, it would be running up Joe Rogan for #1 most streamed. Fuck. Can't even spell your name, mate. Who's Jack Coulter 1? He must be a good bloke. He's got to be much better than Jack Coulter 2. So I get a lot of my golf gear, Jimbo Jones, off Wade Egan's brother, Brock. Brock not happy. I lost Brock's phone number. I thought I'd lost Brock's phone number until I worked out that I'd put him in my phone as Wade. Brock not happy. How many times? How many times do you reckon he gets compared to his brother? His brother's playing in the NRL. Brock's selling me golf clubs, and I've put him in my phone as Wade by accident because he's clearly the better brother. Oh, he's taking his head off. Bloody good footballer too. He's one of my favourite footballers, Jimbo. I'm the heaps normals today. Don't tell Hopper, but I'm having a heaps normal. How's everyone been? Had a fortnight off. Didn't get to hear my dulcet tones for 2 weeks. I hope everyone survived okay. I forgot how to steer the spaceship, I can tell you that much. I was having an absolute debacle here before I jumped on. We nearly didn't jump on. I nearly missed the whole bloody show because I had it set to private, so that's good. That was good. Went to Hamo, got in the sunshine, played some golf up there, hung out with the family. It was a work trip. Had to go there for a conference. We do a leadership conference every year. We normally go overseas, so it was kind of nice. It's nice going overseas. We go to some nice places, but it was kind of nice to stay a bit closer to home. Quick in and out. 4 days, 3 days in the conference, a couple of days of mucking around. But some of us nearly didn't make it. So she doesn't listen, so this is a good thing. Mrs. Sunday Sesh, she's back in the headlines. Mrs. Sunday Sesh has the second worst sense of direction. Needs some private security. Yeah, maybe, mate. We'll talk about the slices in a second. If the slices keeps going the way it's going, I might need some private security. Oh, Benji's back on the gum. Has he got a gum sponsor yet? Benji back chewing the gum hard. I've been into him to get a gum sponsor. Is Extra still the only gum going around? I'm partial to a Grape Hubba Bubba myself. How good is Grape Hubba Bubba? Problem is, though, you have a couple of chews, it's gone. I'm on the sour worms today too. Ran out of jerky. Already had a bag of jerky today. Gone through a bottle of sour Coke bottles. Now I'm on the sour worms. Health. So anyway, went to Hamo. Mrs. Sunday Session, the headlines. We took the whole family. So we took 3 kids and Mama Sesh. And because of that, we had to take 2 cars to the airport. And never a happier man have I been to not have to drive to the airport with Mrs. Sunday Sesh and Mama Sesh. I can tell you what an absolute punish that would be. And as we were leaving, Sesh Jr. piped up. So I had Sesh Jr., I had the eldest boy. My daughter wanted to go with Mum and Nan, fair enough. Well, the middle child, Sesh Jr., he pipes up, says, not going with you guys, sucked in, I'm going with Mum. Don't know why he said it, don't know why he felt the need to say it, but he did. He felt the need to say it. Well, guess what? It was an hour and the first problem I worked out, my Mrs. Sunday Sesh's skill in life is organising things, and my skill in life just turning up. She does all the organising, I just turn up, wouldn't have a clue. Tell me where, tell me when, I'll be there. I get there, that's my job. Her job, tell me where I got to be and how to get there. So when she says the night before, we got an 11:30 flight and we're going to leave home at 8 o'clock, in my head, I did some quick maths. I went, out of the airport from my place, get there at 9, even if we stuff around with parking, which I'll get to in a second, we're still going to make the flight in plenty of time. Didn't click to me at that point in time that it was going to be peak hour. There's the first problem. So we get in the car at 8 o'clock, right on the dot. Sesh Jr. is bragging about not going with us. There's me and Sesh Jr. I've worded him up. I said, mate, we're gold here. No ear bashing for us on the way down. We'll be fine. But then as soon as I got in the car and typed in the airport parking to Waze, hour and 33 minutes because it was peak hour. So straight away I've gone first mistake. Should have got involved in the timing because an hour and 33 before you start the drive, not allowing for accidents, wrong turns, all the other bullshit that can go on between the Central Coast and the airport. I thought, Jesus, we've cut this tight. The run better be perfect. Well, can tell you, about halfway down, I said to Sesh Jr., He should be here, actually. Where is the prick? I said, mate, how good is this? Because we barely spoke a word on the way down. I said, if we were in the other car, he goes, yeah, I know. He cut me off. He goes, yeah, I know. The women talking was going to be a problem for an hour and a half. So anyway, straight to the airport, which has never happened to me in my life, because usually I'm with Mrs. Sunday Sesh, and usually, regardless of what the GPS is telling us, Mrs. Sunday Sesh has got a better idea on how to get to the airport. Our trips to the airport are so bad that I've had to instigate a complete silence rule from 5Ks out. The minute we get within 5Ks of the airport, no one's allowed to speak. Because there's that much going on, the signs don't make any sense. The signs they tell you you're going somewhere where you're not. I'll get lost in the frigging car park every single time we go there and have to do laps. I've missed the airport a couple of times. I've driven into the airport and out of the airport and started heading back to the city a couple of times. So there's a zero noise rule 5 kilometres out, which means the kids can't fight in the back seat. And Mrs. Sunday says, can't tell me where to go, even though Waze is saying go here. So she's got the second worst sense of direction in a person I've ever met in my life, and she tries to tell me that the GPS is wrong all the time. Not a good combination. So anyway, Jack Sesh Jr. and I get straight there, straight to the valet parking, which is 10 metres from the terminal we had to be at, straight there. We've got everyone's luggage, or the check-in luggage. I needed, what did I need? I needed someone's license number for the valet that I didn't have with me. So I ring Mrs. Sunday Sesh. She says, are you there already? I said, yes. Oh, we've done something very wrong. Phone goes very quiet. She was still 45 minutes away. So she'd gone her own way with the other person in the car being the number one person I know for lack of sense of direction, Mama Sesh. There's only one person worse at directions than my wife, and that's my mother. And she never used to be like that, my wife. She was a great organiser. We'd get everywhere. And then she met my mother. And somehow the two have intertwined. They've banded together. Somehow they've become one and combined. They are the worst people with directions and timing that God ever put breath into. They are disgraceful, disgusting. I've never seen anything like it. We got to the airport in an hour and 25 minutes. Mrs. Sunday Sesh still 45 minutes away. You know whose fault that was? Who was the universe trying to punish there, ladies and gentlemen? The universe was trying to punish Sesh Jr. for sticking his chin out and going, I'm going with Mum. Sucked in, Jr. Sucked in. You had to sit in a car for 2 hours, listen to them two carry on, and then I can only imagine how bad it got when they realised they'd gone the wrong way. I can only imagine how bad it was in that car between Tweedledee and Tweedledum trying to figure out directions when they were lost in the middle of the city because they'd found another way to go to the airport that wasn't on the GPS. So I'm at valet and, oh, mate, the smile on my face. The smile on my face, the valet parking guy's looking at me weird going, what's going on here? And I didn't have to say a word. She said, something's gone very wrong here. And I didn't have to say a word, but I did. I just said, well, it appears so. Anyway, we'll see you when you get here. I hung up and I laughed. I laughed and I smiled and I high-fived Sesh Jr. And we laughed and we smiled and we hugged. And it was a great day. And we grabbed our bags. We only had 2 bits of check-in luggage, my golf clubs, which had all my luggage, and Mrs. Sesh had a bag. We said, all right, we'll go check in the bags and we'll go sit in a lounge. We'll go sit in a lounge because we had access to the lounge. Anyway, joke's on me, isn't it? Because I go to check in the baggage. Turns out can't check in Mrs. Sesh's bag because I'm not Mrs. Sesh. I'm not Mrs. Sesh, so I can't check in Mrs. Sesh's bag. So who has to stand there with his thumb up his ass for another hour waiting for I know better than a GPS to turn up? Me. Me and Sesh Jr. Thumb up ass, Lady at the checkout giving me shit because she goes, oh, you're going to play Hamilton Island, eh? I said, yeah, it didn't go well last time, so I'm bringing my own club. She goes, oh, you're blaming the clubs. Yeah, good. Good tradesman never blames his tools. Giving it to me while I have to wait an hour. For Mrs. Sense of Direction and her fucking partner, Mama Sense of Direction, to turn up. They do turn up. Well, Mama Sense of Direction turns up with the other two minions, Sesh Junior Junior and Sesh Junior Junior Junior, who are real happy by this stage. Junior Junior's lost his shit completely. Worst car ride ever. Turns out they got lost in the car park, so all they managed to do was drop Mama Sesh, the two kids, off at the terminal, and then she had to go for another fucking half an hour to try and find a valet parking. That was 5 metres from the terminal. 5 metres from the terminal. But we got lost because we won't follow a GPS and we know better than Waze. She hates Waze. So I had to swear everyone to quietness. I had to say not a word because I could imagine what was going on with Mrs. Sesh. I didn't want any part of it. I warned them and I said, you want to throw yourselves under the bus, by all means. Well, the 14-year-old, he doesn't give a shit. He was straight into her. Apparently he'd been into her the whole way. And even Mama Sesh said, we're going back with Cam. We're not coming back with you. So they all bailed on her. All of them bailed on her. I checked the baggage in when she eventually got there, and I went to the fucking lounge and I left them all. I said, I pretended that because of our Amex card, only one of us could get in, and I fucking went to the lounge and I left him in the food court. Didn't want a bar of it. Did not want a bar of it at all, not one little bit. Oh, we have never, ever, ever made it to the airport without incident. Tigers are in. Well, that's the only try they're going to get. Taruva's finally done something. That's the first points the Tigers have scored in a while, isn't it? A few people watching. Jump in the chat, guys. Say good day. The only rule is you got to tell us what footy team you go for. Jim Jones has just asked, do I think the Roosters are the real deal this year? At the start of the year, I picked them to come second. I had Panthers first, Roosters second. 5 rounds into the year, I couldn't think of a more fraudulent team in the comp than the Roosters. Even the Sharks were less fraudulent than the Roosters. God, they played bad at the start of the year. I tipped them to come second because I watched a trial game against Parramatta where all that happened all day was Angus Crichton run off Sam Walker, set up like 5 tries. It was in Gosford. I went, that's all them. That's all they're going to do all year. They did none of that all year. None. They'd lose games they shouldn't lose. They'd win a good game, then they'd lose a shit game. Up and down all year, can't trust them, couldn't pick them. And I was angry. Angry man. I'm on the record on here of absolutely giving it to them all year. Even last week, they looked very shaky in their win last week. Not convincing at all. But their game on the weekend against the other day against the Panthers, mate, I think they're the most for real team we've got at the moment. I think they're the most for real team we've got at the moment. We'll talk about the footy teams in a sec. But so short answer, yes, now. Yes, but only now, Jimbo, after watching that game on Thursday night. What are your thoughts? I think there's only... Yeah, maybe Leary. They might have played a struggling team, but they've been playing struggling teams and struggling against struggling teams all year. I think they look good. I can't believe they're second in the table. I can't believe the Rabbits are in the top 8. I can't believe the Canterbury were in the top 8. I could not believe the Roosters were coming second. It was a sad indictment of the competition. But after I haven't watched, truth be told, which is great for a podcast who talks a lot about footy. Last few weeks, boys, I haven't watched a lot of games closely, intently. I fucking watched that one on Thursday night. They played very, very, very well. They played very well. It wasn't just that the Panthers were ordinary. Panthers weren't brilliant, but Roosters were very good. Very good. Cherry Evans played the best game he might have ever played in his career. But so do you think, you can't believe they're sitting in second, Jimbo? Does that mean you don't think they're for real, or do you think they're for real now? Because the problem is no one else has been good enough to take second off them. They haven't been good, but no one else has been good enough. I mean, apart from the Wars. Apart from the Wars, no one else has been good enough to take second off them. And Panthers got so far ahead at the start of the comp that what else, it's just the way it's shaken out. I think at the moment there's only 3 teams in it. I think the Wars, the Roosters, the Knights. See, the Knights weren't convincing in parts today against the Titans. I don't know if the Knights can win it. I don't think the Knights can win it. I don't say that to roll O'Leary up. But I just think the Knights they still haven't snapped out of they haven't hit peak form. Still shaky. Still the Titans scored too many soft tries against the Knights today. So I think the Roosters now, I think the Wars, who I was starting to wane on the Wars for a little bit, but they've come back good. They've restored my faith. And I've got to believe that the Panthers are going to work their shit out at some point, but hard without Isaiah Yeo. Interesting. So we get to Hamilton Island. What about the injury to Luke Metcalf? Yeah, poor bugger. No, not a great competition this season. Too many teams in top 8 that have 50 put on them. Yeah, agree with you, Potts. Not a great comp. It's the battle of the least shit. We said this a couple of weeks ago. This comp is the battle of the least shit at the moment. I'd be interested to hear what Ivan puts down the Panthers' stunning drop from the team they were at the start of the year to. I still blame Laurie Daly. I'll finish my Hamo story and then we'll rip into some more. So we get to Hamo, not a word was spoken, and I'm a smart enough man now, probably wasn't a year ago, but I'm a smart enough man now being sober to know don't say a word till you get the green light from her. We're not going to talk about it till we get the green light from her. I just shut up. She sat on the opposite side of the plane. We didn't talk. I didn't gloat. I didn't look smug. Nothing. Just not going to mention it. And then we get to Hamo and we get our cart. We're staying in they got a hotel up there, a resort up there, or you can stay in like holiday houses essentially, townhouses, amazing things on the water, and because there were so many of us, we grabbed one of them. We got the map to get to one of them, had the wrong colouring in on it, didn't it? Pointed us in completely the wrong direction. We got lost to the fucking holiday house. There's only 1 street, 2 streets in the whole of Hamilton Island. We found the wrong one. We found the wrong fucking one, and Captain Sense of Direction was in charge of telling me where to go. I was driving, she was telling me where to go. I'm going, there's a fucking wall there, darling. We can't drive through the wall. Oh, no, but it says we got to go. There's a fucking gate there, darling. We can't drive through the gate. Oh, well, they said we didn't have to go there, but that's where the pen's drawn. That's where the highlighter's gone. That's the texter. So by this stage, I'm off it. I'm off life, really. I'm like, how good is this? We eventually find our way to our fucking room and things quieten down for a couple of days until we all get dolled up. There's a beautiful Greek restaurant at Hamilton Island called Manta Ray. It's going to be our one night going out for a real proper fancy feed. So we all get doled up. We all head down there. Flogging down rain, mind you. We all head down there in the flogging down rain in our buggy. Have to do 2 trips because there's so many of us. So 2 trips to the fucking house that no one could find. And then we go to check in. Yep, we're here for Sesh, family of party of 6 or however many of us. Oh, sorry. We don't have your reservation. What do you mean you don't have our reservation? Hang on, let me look. What were your names again? Let me just check the system. They had our reservation. Bear in mind, this was on the 8th of August, ladies and gentlemen. This is on the 8th of August we were there. They had our reservation. You know when they had our reservation for? 29th of August. At least we got the year right. So Captain sends a direction. Captain Queen of organising everything booked us in for the 29th of August. We were there on the 8th. Do you reckon they had any spare tables for us? Not a chance. Not a chance. None. Gone. So we're standing there, thumbs up asses again. A lot of thumbs up asses on this trip. It was a late booking too. It was already 7 o'clock at night. We got 2 overstimulated children, a 19-year-old who couldn't give a shit, Mama Sesh, just floating around. And there's me, supposed to be the level-headed one. And then there's Mrs. Sesh, the queen of organising everything. So I had to go another 48 hours without saying anything because couldn't go. That was couldn't go till I got the green light. Our beautiful dinner on the 8th of August booked in for the 29th. How good are we going? How good are we going at this stage? Forgot to tell you, Sesh Junior 2 days before we went, buckled his knee at basketball. 100%, we were 100% sure he'd done his ACL. So he's on crutches 2 days before we get on a plane. Done his ACL, poor bastard, can't move, been stuck in a car for 2 hours with a mother who can't follow directions. Then he's got dressed up to go to dinner at a fancy Greek restaurant in his crutches to sit there with thumb up ass because we can't get in anywhere. Everywhere on the whole island booked out. Fucking fabulous. Fantastic. Fabulous. I think that's the first time I've sworn today. How good is that? That was pretty good. So anyway, that's how the family aspect of Hamilton Island went. So when everyone says, did you have a good holiday? Do you feel relaxed? No, don't feel relaxed. Don't feel relaxed at all. No R&R. None. 6-all Tigers, Dragons, 16 minutes left in the first half. Except until Monday. Until Monday came. Monday came, you know it was on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Golf was on Monday. Golf was on Monday at the hardest golf course I've ever had the privilege of playing. Golf was on Monday at the golf course where I lost 28 balls in February 2024 and had to finish on the 16th hole. Hamilton Island Golf Course, which isn't on Hamilton Island, it's on Dent Island. I don't know why they don't call it Dent Island Golf Course, but it's Dent Island. The whole island is just a golf course. It is beautiful. If you look at the slices, GC socials, you'll see some of the shots from Hamilton Island Golf Course. It is beautiful. It is stunning. It is fucking ridiculously hard to play golf on. Ridiculously hard to play golf on, but I was going for revenge, which is why I took my own clubs, because last time rental clubs, I took my own clubs. I took 60 golf balls because I didn't know how it was going to go. And I was looking forward to a nice, enjoyable round with a couple of friends, until one of them muttered the magic word. Jolie, who I'd already beaten twice in golf previous, once at the Hunter Valley, once in Bowral, said the magic word. He said pineapple. And I said, why did you have to go and do that, mate? We were going to have a nice, enjoyable round of golf on the most beautiful golf course on the planet. I was going to try and not lose 30 balls, and now you've said pineapple. I'm going to have to crush you. I'm going to have to kill you. I'm going to have to destroy you. I couldn't believe he did it. I couldn't believe he did it. He had nothing to go by. He had nothing to go by that he'd think he was an actual chance. He's never beaten me. This was going to be our third round of golf. And really, truly, deep down, I just wanted to play a game of golf without having to take money off someone. But no, the minute when he said it to me? In the airport. So at the airport, when I went to the lounge without anybody else and the others were still trying to work out where they were, he goes, pineapple. So that was 4 days before we played. Thrown out pineapple. Poor bastard. Because all I did for the next 4 days was all I know how to do, which was destroy him mentally. He didn't know I was destroying him mentally, but geez, I did. I made sure he knew exactly how hard the course was. I made sure he knew what balls he had to buy and what bits he had to stay away from. I made sure he was buying rental clubs. I said, make sure you get these clubs, not those clubs. I'd spent 4 days just feeding him with the biggest smile on my face known to man. And then sure as shit. Now we didn't play a traditional game. I said, mate, we don't want to do this just off stroke because someone's going to have a 15 on a hole. It's a granted. So we'll do match play. Match play where whoever wins each hole wins that point, and you go until someone can't win anymore. After 6 holes, I'm up by 5. He had no idea what had hit him. I was playing outstanding golf, which is funny because the last time I lost 28 balls, I drank 3 bottles of vodka with my brother the night before. Might have something to do with it. Sober Cam, good golfer apparently, occasionally. Jolie didn't know what had hit him. His first ball went into the jungle. His second ball went into the jungle. I said, I fucking told you, mate, hardest course on fucking God's green earth. So after 6 holes, I'm up 5-1. I only lost 3 balls on the front 9. I think he clawed a couple back towards the end. We turned up. I was up by 4 holes with 9 to play. And then I took my driver out. I'd kept my driver at home the first 9 holes because you don't take driver at that golf course. And I'm like, I'm up by $1 million. I'll take my driver out. Shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Proceeded to have a 9 followed by an 8. And he got back within 2. He got back within 2 holes, and then with 2 holes to go, he had to win them both to square. He couldn't win, but he got to a point where he squared, and then he tried to play mental warfare with me, and he lost big time. We gave each other 1 mulligan and 1 reverse mulligan. A mulligan's where you can take your tee shot again. A reverse mulligan's where you can make the other person take their shot again if they hit a good one. We gave each other 1 each on each 9 holes. He waited till 2 holes to go to reverse mulligan me. I smoked my tee shot straight down the middle of this really difficult hole. He says, I'll see that again. Well, he fucking saw it again because rinse and repeat, baby. I bashed this 3 hybrid straight down the middle of the fairway and that cooked him. He'd wasted his reverse mulligan. He chunked his next shot. I win. 2 holes to play. The bet's over. All done, all square. And he's got a nice shiny pineapple. That pineapple you can see just there, that's Joel. We inducted him into the Hall of Pineapple when I got back. There's a nice video tribute to him. He didn't heed the warning of the pineapple bet, and more fool him. And thank you for supporting my children's future. How good's the wall of pineapple behind me? Waiting for Stephen Leary's pineapple. Waiting for a pineapple from Stephen Leary. Slices is going good. Slices going off. So we'll do tattoo bet first. Tattoo bet not going so well. I'm back. I'm well and truly back. I've peptided the shit out of my shoulder. I'm back hitting the ball. The distance I'm supposed to be hitting it. My irons, I've done something miraculous with my irons because I'm hitting them where they're meant to be going now. I've had a 36, I've had a couple of 34s and a 33 points. Not enough to put a dent in the tattoo bet. I'm sitting at a 16 handicap. I'm getting tattooed for sure. I don't know. There's still 4 months left. I'm going to have to make a very big run. Today would have been a good day to make a run. Today I could have made a run. Today I had 34 points, but I missed 5 putts from this far. On the second hole of the day, I hit a horrible tee shot. Speaking of irons that are going where they're supposed to go, this iron did not go where it's supposed to go. But during the week, the only thing I practiced was my chip shots off real short, tight, hard lies. And I worked out that I shouldn't be using the club I was using. I'm using a different club. Practice works because I put the fucking ball that far from the hole. I'm not even exaggerating. I can show you the Arcos data. That far. I three-putt. I had a three-putt from that far. I hit it. It was slightly downhill. It caught the lip of the hole. It fucking rolled 1.5 meters away. I missed the putt coming back. I have a three-putt from that far. It's not even funny. I missed a birdie putt that was about that far. The fact that you can still see it on camera, I missed an easy 5. I reckon if I went through the right round, it'd be more than 5. I had 34 points and missed 5 putts like that. Should have been a 40-point plus round. I had nearly had an air swing. I hit a 3-wood, 1 foot on a par 5. I clipped the top of it. It bumped up on the ground and landed almost where it started. And I still had 34 points. That's how good a golfer I am. But I'm getting tattooed. And I'm not going to win this week in the slices again because of just shit putts. I'm going to miss by a couple of points. Fucking ridiculous. Team GWR, I'm gone, I think. Slices, though. Slices going very good. Slices is going to retire me, people. We're up to 61 members. We're in 4 states since we last spoke. I'm in WA now. We got Slices in WA. I've had another 3 applications today. The sponsors that were on board are now increasing their kick because they've seen how much potential there is with this thing. The members are absolutely loving it. A few whinging bastards in there, but that's always going to happen. It's a very good study in human psychology, the Sunday Slices, just watching how everyone reacts and interacts. The people who have paid for nothing but whinge about everything and the people that have paid for everything that whinge about nothing. It's very, very interesting on that level. Just bloody exciting. Bloody exciting. Got headhunted by a merch company during the week. They want to be the official merch company of the Sunday Slices. The Drum and Golf are trying to get us every franchise in Australia. Hoppers increased their interest. They were going from a small prize partner to a major prize partner. DBG's kicking in more stuff. The Slices is just absolutely going off its head. Quite proud of what we've done there. By accident, completely. By accident. Can't drive to the fucking airport. Can come up with an idea. Unbelievable. 12-6 Dragons, 7 minutes left. I know it's my job, but I've just spoken for almost an hour straight. Someone take over. All right, let's talk footy. Anyone else been playing any golf? Potsy's made a bit of a comeback. Potsy wasn't going real well. Potsy's come good. Good to see you back scoring a few points every now and again, Potts. Leary, you been having a hit, mate? Good chat. We're live. We're live. Been a tough 6 weeks. No, not for 2 weeks. Been crook and work shit. This young guy, Hamo Stewart, for the Dragons is a good player. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion, Jim Jones. Everyone's saying it, so I guess it must be true. I'd find it... I haven't watched... It's very hard to sit there and fucking focus on a Dragons game, innit? There's been some very, very average footy. I was saying this at the start. There's been some horrible football, and as much as I love the game, I can't sit there and watch shit football, like shit quality. I don't care if it's a close score. If it's fucking at bad football, I just lose interest very quickly. There's too many other things in life to do than sit there and watch very, very average football. And I guess to the unattuned fan, which I think, definitely you guys know what you're watching. there's more and more education out there now. There's more and more places people can go to learn how to watch footy and what they're supposed to be looking at. I think the crowd's pretty educated these days. When you say there's not too many morons out there who sit and watch an absolute garbage game of football and go, geez, that was good, close game. And I think, I didn't see his presser. He's been upset for months, though. He's got every reason to be upset. They're coming second last. I couldn't believe today. I really have tuned out for a couple of weeks. I've had a lot going on myself, but I couldn't believe today when Coulter pointed out to me the Broncos were actually second last and have lost more games than the Tigers. That stunned me for a second. That crept up on me, that one. They're in all sorts of Broncos. But shit footy doesn't lend itself to being watched, does it? And I wonder, I don't think it gets any better next year with the Bears coming. I think it's one more shit game of footy each week. Is that a fair statement? I mean, fuck, who have we signed? Absolutely no one. We've signed no one. Corey Horsburgh, everyone's going, what a good signing. I said that tongue-in-cheek on my tips video. I was being very tongue-in-cheek. I think it's a very average signing. He come back good last year for 1 year. He already dropped in form this year and he gives away that many dumb penalties. And I don't rate Junior on the scale of rating. I don't rate Junior Paulo. I'll just say that. I think for his size and his weight and what he should be able to do on a football field, I don't reckon he has a go as often as he should, a real go. So you got Paulo who thinks he's a halfback. You got Big Red who's going to give away a penalty every time he gets tackled. We do have Sexy Sexton. And I just think, you bring in the Bears, you bring in PNG. I think we've just got 2 more shit games of football each week. And that'll be a shame, because last year, does everyone remember last season? Last season was the best comp we'd had in ages. Sully. Oh, there's me 14-6 blown out of the water. Nice, Hamish. Good on you, Hamish. High rated or hard rated, like the solos you probably drink? So what about Laurie Daly forcing the resignation of Billy the Grub? Let's pretend like that's what happened and not that Billy's going to go and coach Melbourne. Let's just pretend that, because that's fun to entertain, isn't it? Imagine fucking letting the worst coaching performance in Origin history by a New South Wales coach ever be your undoing. Junior Paulo being an immortal. It was already hard to take you seriously, Hamish, but surely, I know you don't mean immortal, but overrated. Overrated. I would love if we, what would be great? Billy goes, Cam Smith comes in, we fucking kick his ass too. Although, see, that's how long it's been, gentlemen, since we've spoken. So Billy quit 2 days ago. Matt King got announced. And I heard some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Dave Riccio, let's go back to Matt King getting announced as New South Wales coach. Don't have an issue per se. I don't have an issue per se, except he's never coached. He's been an assistant coach everywhere. So there's one issue. Dave Riccio, and this is back on fucking journalists having their fingers in too many pies, actually came out in public and said it very forthrightly and like he was full of wisdom. You just have to have played for New South Wales to be the New South Wales coach. It's the only way it works. Excuse me? Did Madge play for New South Wales, you fucking peanut? Did Madge play for New South Wales when we had the most dominant of dominant victories? What a stupid, boneheaded statement. You have to have played for New South Wales to get Origin. Fuck me, it didn't help Laurie this year. Didn't help Freddie. Didn't help Laurie last time he coached. What a stupid statement that is. Gould never played Origin. Thank you, Hamish. And this was the discourse before he got announced. And when after he got announced, yeah, it's the right decision because, he's played Origin. He gets it. He's been there. He's never coached. And I wish him well. And I hope he's great. But the reasons for picking him, not from anyone who picked him, remember the same people picked him that thought it was Laurie Daly was a good idea. So is it 1 year until Ivan can coach? Is that what we're doing? Please tell me that's what we're doing. Is it 1 year until Madge gets fired and then Madge can come back and coach? Please tell me that's what we're doing. Something. We hire a bloke who's only been an assistant coach his whole life because he's played Origin. That's why he had to be the coach. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. Just bring Madge back now. So Matt, he gets picked. Matt King. Billy quits. Now we know Billy quit to coach fucking Melbourne. Of course he did. Of course he did. But I prefer to think Loz made him quit. That's the funnier version. That's what we're running with here on the Sesh. Official Sesh take on the resignation of Billy Slater is Loz got to him. He realised he was up against someone he couldn't compete with. Loz got to him, broke him down. Amazing stuff. Amazing scenes. Hey, quickly, half-time. Book of Feuds, quickly. Then we're all footy, I promise you. Daz is in. Your Queensland Daz. I hope you paid that 50, son. Daz is in. Book of Feuds. Haven't had a good Book of Feuds for a while. Haven't had a stupid Book of Feuds for a while. I've got a very good, very stupid Book of Feuds. I am feuding, and I can't... Leary might have to tell me. I feel like I've mentioned this before, but I didn't go right into it. I'm 100% feuding. Yeah, Jet Clear is leaving the Warriors. Go and get coached by Dad. I am feuding with glass bathrooms, glass doors, glass windows and doors and bathrooms in fucking hotel rooms. 100% feuding. Stupidest idea in the name of vanity that has ever been had. These hotel rooms where you get a master suite, you're going, yeah, good, but you got to go and take a dump behind a finicky piece of glass for your wife or Mrs. Sesh to try and who you're trying to woo, you're trying to get ready for the bedroom Olympics with, to just hear you unload with no privacy whatsoever, is a stupid invention anybody ever had. Who thought that was a good idea, to make see-through bathrooms in hotel rooms? And even worse, the bloody place we stayed in Hamilton Island wasn't a hotel room, right? It was a house, but the whole top floor was a master boudoir. Every door and every wall in the place was glass. They did it so you can look out at your water view. But you know what you can't do looking at your water view with glass is give your missus one, because the whole friggin' house can hear you, see you, smell you while you're doing it. And it had a glass bathroom. It was unbelievable. You couldn't even whisper without the house hearing you. What a stupid idea for fucking $19,000 a night or whatever we paid, I don't want to know. The whole top floor, glass. It's a 6-bedroom, it wasn't a 6-bedroom, I exaggerate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-bedroom, 2-story townhouse thing overlooking the water, and the whole top floor is glass. So not only did we get lost on the way there, book in for a fucking hotel, restaurant a month in advance, we couldn't even get any of the frustration out because bloody the whole of Hamilton Island could hear us or see us. I'm absolutely feuding with the idiots who have put looking good over any sort of function whatsoever. Like, I know people have different relationships in the world. I know couples who fart in front of each other and don't mind taking a shit in front of each other. That's not me and Mrs. Sesh. We've always kept that shit to ourselves. It's better for everybody. Better for everybody. As far as I'm concerned, she's never farted in her life. Yeah, listen. So, no, which bit's not my thing? Jim Jones? Steve Leary, all I'll tell you, mate, is adapt and overcome, brother. It's one of my mottos, what I live by. See the problem, find a solution, adjust. Oh, mate, no, it's not. No, Jim Jones, I'll be very clear. Not a problem unless it's your mother and your 3 kids. The problem was, let me just reiterate, I was in a house with my mother and my 3 children. So, yeah, it's a fucking problem if they're watching you. Huge problem. What a stupid idea. The person who invented it, and I know a couple of architects, actually. I know one in particular I can guarantee has never been laid. The people who invent that shit and think it's a good idea, never been laid a day in their life. Not a chance they're not 50-year-old virgins. None. No chance. Because even if their doors and the walls weren't fucking opaque, thin glass, having the bathroom that way sure isn't getting you laid. Sure as shit isn't getting you laid. Pardon the pun. And then you know what you got to do? You got to, in a hotel, resort or whatever, you got to go down to the lobby to find a shitter where you can just unload in peace. And in this fucking 2-story house, I had to go down 3 flights of stairs to use the downstairs toilet. That's not fucking functional either. When a man's got to go, he's got to go. I'm over it. I'm over it. Yeah, 100% Hamish. Oh, I don't mind if it's a house setup. If it's a house setup, then every bedroom and then you can have a main bathroom. But if a master suite's got an ensuite, that thing fucking should be soundproof and view-proof and everything. There's I reckon there's, you call people fuckface, right? And people don't understand how big a fucking insult it is calling someone fuckface. Pause for a minute next time you're having one, gentlemen, and just have a look at the face staring across from you. Fuckfaces aren't a good-looking thing. Fuckfaces aren't attractive. They're not like the pornos, I can tell you. Fuckface is a horrible insult. If I call you fuckface, it means you're ugly, right? And I reckon your poo face has got to be the next worst, if not worse. So 2 things you don't want to see. Have sex with your eyes closed, fuck face, and your poo face. Why would you want that to be visible? Hey, darling, I'll be with you shortly. I've just got to go and powder my nose. Fuck me. Or not, because how's that supposed to go on? Feuding. Absolutely feuding. The other thing I'm feuding with, and less importantly, but it didn't remind me, fucking autocorrect on iPhones at the moment is absolutely off its head. If I don't double check every message that I send, whatever I'm sending is nothing like what I thought I was writing. What did I write the other day to someone? Oh, I meant to screenshot it so I could talk about this, but I said, I think it's a good idea if we do this, and it wrote, I'm bent out of shape, can you help? Or something along those lines. Fucking autocorrect. And I don't have the smallest hands in the world, but it's not a fat fingers fucking thing. Has anyone else's phone's got that much more sensitive that you can't be trusted with anything you friggin' write anymore? Between that and shitting through glass, my life's in turmoil. I've got to sort my life out. It's had 5 days of shitting through glass and trying to sneak around the house from my mother and 3 kids to give Mrs. Sesh what for. Adapt and overcome, Leary. Adapt and overcome. All right. That's the Book of Feuds over. I didn't even have my feuding hat for it. What's going on? What are we talking about in the footy? I was retired, Billy. What about... So Jim Jones mentioned a couple of things earlier. One is Metcalf doing his hammy again. That's the biggest jinx. Did anyone watch the pre-game show? They did like a montage, a tribute to Luke Metcalf and all the injuries he's overcome and how most resilient bugger you've ever met, and it mentioned all his hamstring injuries. If it wasn't I thought I was the biggest mock in sport. They got him. They sniped him. Glass and iPhones aren't your only problems. Being a Manly supporter is way more concerning. No medication will help that. Drink hopper, buddy. Yeah, we're going to talk about Manly in a sec, mate. I can tell you're itching to. So anyone who watched the pre-game last night before the Wars game, was it last night? They did a big tribute thing, a special on Luke Metcalf, talking about how he'd overcome all his injuries, mate. Got him good. Tore his hamstring playing, kicking a goal. Didn't take much. Now, how happy are you if you're the Dragons? How much have they paid for him? Now listen, feel for him, horrible. He's going to have one of them careers. But, that's a bit heartless, Jimbo. He's made of glass. Jim Jones, he's made of glass. Does that mean I'll have to shit through him and tap my missus on the shoulder behind him? I feel for him. He was devastated. But the Dragons, mate, have paid $1 million for him. And the Dragons are already booking their grand final. The Dragon supporters are already booking their grand final tickets for next year. You've bought a bunch of people. Drinky, great buy, I still believe, although he's fucking looked very average the last couple of weeks. Metcalf, you've already lost your halfback, so you still don't have a halfback. He'll keep injuring himself. Got Connor Watson on 1 year deal. Who else they got on a 1 year deal? Got a couple others. We've still got Gutho. There's no grand final for the Dragons. I don't even think they make the 8. I'm willing to commit. No halves. No finals. Jet Cleary leaving the Warriors. Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? They've always marched to the beat of their own drum, the Clearys. So there's a couple of conspiracies. One, go and get coached by Ivan for a year. But two, does that mean Nathan's leaving the Panthers? Because the reason he was at the Warriors to begin with is because there was no future for him at the Panthers behind Nathan. So does him going to the Panthers mean that there's now a future there? Is that a fair hypothesis? Discuss. Hamish, can we just fucking interrupt Hamish for a second, everybody? You aren't doing a very good job in the chat. You beat the Cowboys, mate. You beat the fucking Cowboys. Daz's Cowboys, who, if you watch my tip video, they were never a certainty to win. It's not even an upset. It's not even an upset because when the Cows are bad, they are abysmal. You beat a shocking football team with a shocking football team and it was fucking 100-100. Get down off your high horse, Hamish. You're kidding yourself. Carrying on for an hour and you beat the Cowboys. Fuck me dead. There you go, I did it for you. Can you have a go in the chat? When someone starts gobbing off in the chat like that, can we just fucking put him in his place? Thank you. We didn't just beat the Cowboys, we ended their season and broke the hearts of millions. No, they ended their own season. Right, that's what I want to talk about. It was one of my topics for today. Teams trying really hard to not make the 8. This time of year, you're supposed to have a bunch of teams trying really hard to make the 8. I reckon we got a bunch of teams who go, fuck that, we're not going to win the comp anyway. Let's fucking get out of here as early as we can. And I'll give you a couple of them. Manly, refuse to say Fosball anymore. Manly, don't want to make the 8. The Cowboys, don't want to make the 8. Canberra are pretending like they want to make the 8, but they spent the first half of the season making sure they couldn't make the 8. South, 1 week, don't want to make the 8. The next week, maybe we should make the 8. Next week, they're not going to want to make the 8 again. I'm seeing more teams try not to make the 8. Cronulla have fucked it right up. They're going real hard to not make the 8, but they've gone too well at the start of the year, so now they're going to have to make the 8. The frauds. But I've never seen more teams put their feet up. What has happened to the Cowboys? You're in the 8. You should be top 4. You've re-signed your coach. You've fallen off a cliff and playing disgusting football. I don't understand. And Manly, it just a slippery slope and they're gone. Manly got longer term issues. I was having a good think about it today. We're in a bit of froth and bubble. We got no one. Who have we got coming? We don't have a hooker. I don't rate Jamal Fogarty. Who would have thought, blow me down with a feather, that losing Luke Brooks would be end your season? Who would have thought? It's nothing to do with Turbo because they'll win him without Turbo as long as they had Brooksy there. But the problem for Manly was, and I said this at the start of the year, you had no one who would own the big moments without Turbo there. So Fogarty won't own a big moment. He can't even get a team in position to kick a field goal. He's going that bad, Fogarty, that he can't get him in a position to kick a field goal. He can't kick goals. And then you've got Joey Walsh, who is the equivalent of a 15 to 20 handicapper in golf who thinks he can feed the ball through any gap in the trees that's on the golf course and hits the tree every time. Anytime he's got the option of playing safe and playing short or throwing a miracle ball, the kid throws a miracle ball, which isn't a problem because he's 10 games in and sometimes it's going to come off, right? But because Fogarty's doing nothing in between him and can't fucking manage the game, those mistakes from Joey Walsh are now glaring. And then the fullback, Clayton Talolo, Falolo, absolute gun, absolute superstar, but you got 5'8" who's only played half a dozen games, fullback who's only played half a dozen games, halfback who can't control the game, hooker who's not a hooker. We're in the shit. And you can't replace all that in one off-season. Their front rowers are abysmal. Paseka should be an absolute wrecking ball, but he's not. So the depth is a problem, and they can't fix it in one season. The minute KFC changed their name to fucking Kieran Fried Chicken or whatever they changed it to, we were toast. Gone. The Cows, can we go back to the Cows for a second? Any chance they have to cement their semi-final spot, they literally look at each other and go, fuck, we're getting too close here, boys. Remember the holiday we got booked. Hamish is into it. Mate, Hamish, listen, I tipped Parra to make the 8 this year, so thanks a lot for that. And yeah, Luai will help you, morons. That'll be the worst signing ever made. Think of a worse... Who's a worse signing? Has there been a worse signing than Jerome Luai to Parra next year? Yeah. But they had that in them before then too, Potsy. That hasn't helped. There has been a definite shift with the Cows since Drinky was going. And you know what I hate? I hate seeing Purdue scored a try last night from halfback where he stepped left, step right. I think he was about 20 metres out, went through and scored. Great try. Great try. But I hate hearing the commentators then going, that's why they've let Scott Drinkwater go. Fucking keep them both, you idiots. You have him doing that at halfback and then Drinky doing what he does out the back. You can't have him have one good play and go, that's why we got rid of our best player. Drinky's got 3 good years left in him. The whole Purdue has one good play, so that's why we got... It's a dud call. Speaking of duds, it's a dud call like saying, no, you have to have played Origin to coach Origin. What a stupid fucking call. We'll get rid of a bloke who sets up 5 tries a game for a bloke who scores 1 and he's going to be good in the future. Well, where's the sense in that? Yeah, Gutho was good for a little while. All come from Manly. You only had 4 in half a dozen games, didn't you? Oh, I forgot you took what, Mal? What, Mal? What, Mal was our worst signing, followed by Hopewadi. Luai is going to be worse. I wonder how he's going to put up with Mitchell Moses' bullshit. Moses is going to be carrying on like a full Karen and Luai is just going to be chill, brah. Just chill, brah. I don't think Moses is going to chill. I don't think there's any chance Moses chills. None. The Dolphins don't look like they want to be in the 8 half the time, do they? But I think that's just the Dolphins. I don't think they're actively trying not to make the 8. I think Manly definitely actively trying not to make the 8. Who else? I had me list out here before. Melbourne, Canberra. Tigers are trying pretty hard not to make the 8. Cronulla, yeah. Yeah, so here's the thing. They're talking about, just to follow on, I guess it attaches to what we we're talking about before with how there's going to be more shit games next year when the Bears come in. If they're talking about extending or having a playoff for basically making it 10 teams, not a 10-team semi, but 10th, 9th playing off, or 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th playing off to make the semis. What's the point? You've already got teams now who don't want to make the top 8. They've all got their Vegas trips booked. There's no chance. Who was that para halfback he's had for a while? Tim, who was the para halfback, the young bloke? Tim. He was meant to be the next Sterlo, but they, even the third or fourth player is a terrible idea. Tim Smith. Tim Smith was good, but didn't they bury him? I rated Tim Smith highly. Anyone else? I thought he went good. It was Tim Smith. You had a habit of getting young halfbacks. You had a habit of getting young halfbacks and then putting that much pressure on them that they couldn't play footy anymore. They were all the next big thing when they came in. Para went through, you remember Para went through almost a decade of every young halfback they got coming through the grades was the next Sterlo. And he buried them all. Who was, let's go, yeah. Yeah, well, the head noise, but the head noise was coming from, like, Para did that because they anointed everyone. There was a few. There was a bloke I played against. Fuck. You went through, there was 3 or maybe not 3 or 4. There was 2 or 3 young guys. Michael Lett, was he one? Oh, who was there was a Michael somebody. They all went back to back. Michael Witt. Jeff Robson, Michael Witt. And they all only lasted a season because of the pressure that got put on them. Everyone else who've had goods come from the Tigers. Yeah, but no, but he started, Michael Witt went to Manly. Yeah, but he was at, he started at Para. He was the next big thing after, was he after Tim Smith? Chris Sandow? You've had $1 million. Did Sandow start at Para or did he start at South? Was the other Witt a Steve? I think the other Witt, Michael and Stephen Witt, maybe. Started South, Sandow, went to Para. Yous have buried some halves. Fuck, yous have buried some halves, Para. Jonah Pezzett's dad was a Para halfback for a little while. Troy. He was my first grade coach. 30 minutes left. Let's do this. It's a little bit early. Jason Taylor carried them to a grand final. Yeah, to lose it. Great Bears alumni. Nah, Pezzy was a halfback. Hamish. Let's have a look at this, gentlemen. Fill a bit of time. We'll do next year's predictions at the end of the season, the way too soon predictions. But let's have a look at who we think improves or gets worse next year. Don't have to give them a place, just better team, worse team. Better team, worse team, that's what we'll call it. Because this has been, to Potsy's point earlier, this has been an average season. There's a lot of horrible football. Next year we've got the Bears coming in. They'll weaken. They're not going to weaken people much. And then you got PNG coming in. Right? We'll go from the bottom. Dragons, better team, worse team. I'm going to say they won't get the spoon, but that's it. I'm going to say slightly better. Better. Potsy, if you're still there. What about Brisbane? Better, worse? Better, worse, same. I suppose we've got to have a third one in. Better, worse, same. Definitely better, worse. How can you be... These guys had to say same, boys, because they're second last. So by saying worse, you're thinking spoon. I'm going to say same. Broncos, same. So we got better for the Broncos, worse. Leary saying spoon for the Bronx next year. Interesting. I'm going to go same. So better for the Dragons, same for the Broncos. Gold Coast Titans, better, worse, same. I'm going to say better. Jim Jones, same. Just don't reckon they can improve, eh? Because they've been the same for so long. I had hopes from. They've let me down a bit the back end of this year. My prediction was this year they were going to have a Parramatta season. This year they were going to go shit at the start of the year and come good at the end, but the wheels have fallen off them again. Oh, it's called it forward, Goffy. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm probably with you. I'm going to go same for the Titans. Tigers. Same, better, worse. I'm going to go same. By same, I mean garbage. Worse, worse, worse. Eels. Same, better, worse. Based on what I've seen this year, I'm going to go worse. Luai next year. Eels worse. Next one's interesting. Milk. Same, better, worse. I'm going to go, Ethan Sanders, a year older, a year more experienced. They've re-signed Huddy. I'm going to go same. I'm going to go same. I think they'll climb the ladder a bit this year. They'll finish about 10th, and I reckon they'll be about the same next year. Same for the milk. Now, next one. Just remember, we're not a grub-friendly podcast, everybody. Better, worse, same for the grubs, for the Storm. I'm going to go same. I don't think the problems they've got, they've recruited their way out of. I think they struggle again next year. Potsy, I want to ask you, Potts, because you're a Storm supporter, how do they get better? Where are they going to get better? Give me some evidence that they'll be better. Someone tell me how the Storm... Boys, stay on track. Daz has decided not to pay the pineapple. That's on him, mate. Karma will get him. He's ruined the Cowboys season. He's never righted. He's wrong. But we're not going to fight about it in the chat. We're on to a good topic here. We're having a bit of fun. Explain to me how the Storm improve. We finally have outside backs instead of back rows. Yeah, you got a Sarko. What happens with Munster, though? What happens with your halves? I reckon Grub's having the same year next year. Oh, is Alisi Katoa back? So if Katoa comes back... I'm going to say same. Hello, Chris Brown. We're doing... Cam Munster is ready to retire. Yeah, I feel the same way, Jim Jones. I think he's had enough. He's just going to take a payday somewhere. I kind of hope he takes a payday at the Perth Bears. But he's ready. His hips are gone. I reckon he's had enough. Halves need to stay healthy, and I'd throw everything they have at Bradman Best. Nah, Bradman Best not leaving the Knights. No chance. Interesting. So you've given me no evidence, Potsy. I'm sorry, mate. You're hoping and wishing, which is fine. They're your time. They're your time. Stop saying it does. It's not going to get mentioned in here again. Hasn't happened. You've cursed your team. Doesn't matter. All right. Better, same, worse next year. Manly. The Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. I refuse to call them Fosball because they're not playing Fosball at the moment. I'm going to say same. Same old, fucking same old. Same for Manly. Quist removed his comment, calling us all wankers. Come on, Quisso, that's all right. Just need no injuries. Manly wooden spoon. They're not going to get the spoon. Tiger, you got the Tigers, you got the Titans, you got. I just want to say, even though Quist Brown isn't Terrence CUCU, Terrence CUCU was kind enough to give me a couple of cans of beer today from the Manly edition of the 2011 Premiership cans. Even though I don't drink, I wouldn't drink 2011 version cans anyway, but that was cool, man. They were awesome. I meant to have them in here, but I was an absolute shit show before the show began. So they're fucking awesome, those cans. They're going good. Thank you very much. What's the vote on Manly? Surely Manly can't get any worse, but then again, no, I'm saying same. If you can't have a sensible conversation, Hamish, I'm going to have to bar you, mate. I'm going to have to bar you. Bulldogs next year, better, same, worse. So, Quisso, we're playing better, same, worse, mate. Same old shit. Same. Yeah, I'll go same. Same old shit. Hopefully worse, but same old shit. I can't see them getting better. If they're going to fucking keep playing Crichton at 5'8", they've got huge problems. All right, here we go. Everyone be kind. Cowboys, better, same, worse next year. I'm going to say worse. You fucking got rid of Drinky, you morons. So much worse. Worse. Spoon-worthy, maybe. Maybe the spoon. You watch how quickly we work out that Drinky was the heart and soul of the team. Oh. Where are they going to get better, Daz? We will have Purdue at fullback. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? You had Drinky at fullback. Tell me fucking Drinky's not a better fullback than Purdue at the moment. We will have Purdue is not an excuse to get rid of probably the third or fourth best fullback in the competition. Not an excuse. I'm getting a drink. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I could have been back real quick. They're sitting beside me. I really have to sort my life out. I am rattled. What is going on? Power of the pussy. Power of the pussy, Steve Leary. I'll tell you what he's not doing. He's not moving down there to try and give her one behind a glass wall while the rest of his family watches. I can tell you that much. Maybe that's why he's leaving, because these stupid hotels in Queensland have fucking glass walls everywhere. I think the Cowboys are in deep shit next year. Deep shit. That's a new category. Better, worse, same, deep shit. South, better, worse, same, deep shit. I'm going deep shit. I think they're still going to have Cody. Oh, gee, Payne Haas. No, Payne Haas gone there for a payday. We're still going to have too much money tied up in Latrell. They're still going to have the problems with Cody Walker. Yeah, no, you're probably right. No, I'm going to say same. Inconsistent, finish middle of the pack, same. You're all wrong. Now, the Newcastle Knights. Newcastle Knights. Better, same, worse, deep shit. Better. Real impressed with what they've done this year. Fill me in though. Have they recruited? So they're losing Gagai. Who else are they losing? Leary? Have we recruited anyone? Nah, Daz, you don't get to say whining like a woman, mate. You made a bet a fucking month ago and you haven't paid it. That's on you, brother. None of that bullshit. Lots of young kids coming through doesn't make you better. You need to keep Brown, Sharp and Ponga on the field. You need to keep Bradman Best. There's no way Bradman Best is going to the Storm. Oh, I just think you're still a bit light on in the pack, Leary. That was my worry for you at the start of the year. Like, mate, even look at today's game. The Titans scored a lot of fucking soft tries up the guts. I think that's going to be your undoing. You could do with another front row. You could do with or you need Dylan Lucas back. One more second row, I wouldn't go astray. All right, my favourite. Francis, my new favourite player. Yeah, Lemu Malulu, whatever it is, Luluwai, Menu Luluwai. My favourite, the Frauds. The Frauds. I'm going to say worse. Sharks. Worse. They haven't recruited again. They're losing Ramian. They're losing Katoa. They're not turning over their roster. I haven't heard of them recruiting anyone substantial at all. So that's the same team for 5 or 6 years. And I just think too old now. You've tried it, hasn't worked. Brad Arthur, the coach. Brad Arthur 2.0 in Fitzy. I'm going to say worse. What's the votes on the Sharks? Potsy saying same. It's easy to say same because they've been in the same for the last 5 years, but I'm going to say next year it starts to go backwards. If they don't, starts to go backwards next year. Worse for the Sharks. Dolphins, better, same, worse. They're trending upwards, aren't they? But who do they lose? They lose Nicarima. Who's going to play 5'8" for them? Who's going to play fucking 5'8" for the Dolphins? They lose Asako, so they lose Asako. I don't think they get hurt by losing Asako too much. But so what? They're going to have a young, inexperienced 5'8" playing inside a young, not super experienced halfback. I know Katoa's good, but yeah, the Pommy bloke who was at the Raiders, yeah, George Williams. Yeah, well, that went real well. He was a superstar at the fucking Raiders, wasn't he? I think that's a mistake getting rid of Nicarima for the Dolphins. Jim Jones. See if he can do this with any sense of end bias. Wars next year, better, worse, same. Who have they got? You need Tanner Boyd to come back. They're trending upwards, the Wars. Let's not forget, you're saying better. How much better could they be going? They're fucking playing well. They're playing very, very well. Jackson Ford back. Yeah. I'm going to say same because I reckon they could win it this year. I'm going to say same. They'll be top of the pops again next year. I don't know how they improve. I guess the only way... the thing that's been unbelievable about the Wars this year is they've lost every one of their halves at some point and they've just kept going. That's very impressive. No other team would be able to do that. None. Panthers now without Yo. So you got Tanner Boyd's gone, Tamara Martin's gone, Chanel Harris-Tavita's hurt himself at different points in time, Luke Metcalf's hurt himself at different points in time. They've barely played the same spine all year, apart from a bit of a run in the middle there. That's impressive. No other team could cover that. Give me one other team that could cover that. Broncos lose Reynolds and Mam. They're stuffed. Manly lose Luke Brooks. Apparently they're stuffed. Sharks lose Braden Trindle. They're stuffed. Raiders lose... Yeah, Raiders would be in trouble without Ethan Sanders. I don't think there's a... Yeah, Knights have gone the closest. The Knights have probably gone the closest for losing their... But they haven't lost... they didn't lose Dylan Brown, then Sandon Smith came in, then he went down. Not like the Wars. I don't know many other teams. Yeah, I don't know of anyone who's got the depth in the halves that the Wars have got. The fuck, they've got some halves. All with first grade experience. Like everyone else who's trying to step in, we're talking about young fellas stepping in here or a young fella stepping in there or blooding someone. They got fucking... Someone Google while we're on here how many games experience are between... Because Chanel Harris-Tavita's played over 50 games. He would have played close to 100. Tamare Martin's probably played close to 100 games. Tanner Boyd would be 50-odd. Luke Metcalf is 50-odd. They got a shitload of experience. Yeah, but Potsy, they've been in and out all year and they haven't been able to cover it. That's what I'm saying. No one else, even Melbourne, couldn't cover the fucking disjointedness in their spine like the Wars have. That's exactly what I'm saying. If Melbourne can't do it, I think, Wars are doing something special this year. Very special. Got a good hooker. So you need a good hooker. You need a good hooker. Harry Grant hasn't been at his best this year, Potsy, by a long shot. Harry Grant, so you look at, they got Wade Egan to help steer the ship with the Wars and cover off. He's another half, basically. Harry Grant's been well down on form this year. Well down. $24.18. Yeah, I reckon Melbourne missed Nass. I was going to say their pack's a bit light on. I reckon that's why I said Melbourne would probably go worse or the same next year. I don't rate their pack at all. Utu Ukomanu's only come good the last probably month. He's a big flop. I think they miss Nass for sure. And they miss Katoa, definitely. That's why, I look at all my reasons for rating teams or not rating teams start with their pack, and I look at the start of the year, I looked at their pack and I went, Liero, really? He's a bum. Liero's a bum. Sean Blaw's just signed with the Cows, hasn't he? Who's Sean Blaw just signed with? Brisbane. I think Sean Blaw's just signed with Brisbane. That's my problem with the Knights there, Pack. Penrith, better, same, worse next year. Leary, take your fucking Penrith hating hat off. See if we can look at this objectively. Panthers the same. They got a hell of a, imagine the last ride, the last dance going full on next year for Penrith. They'll be wringing every ounce of juice they can get out of that next year. You can't go. You got to go same, top of the table, don't you? And that just leaves the Roosters. Roosters better, same, worse next year. They lose Nwanga Nitawase. Looks like they've unearthed a couple of good back rowers, and because Angus Crichton, they lose Angus Crichton. They lose Daly Cherry Evans. They're starting to. Ooh. No Cherry. And Cherry's been good for him, as much as I hate to say it. Cherry's been good for him. Hate you, Cherry. They've got Ruben Garrick coming in. Here's a fucking, not even a hot take. Ruben Garrick is not a centre. I'm so sick of seeing him in the centres for Manly. He's a much better winger. He can't pass. He can barely run a hole. Not a centre, Ruben Garrick, but they got him coming. Now, the Roosters have a pack. I'm more worried about elsewhere in their position, in their team. Roosters better, same, worse. Oh, worse. I'm going to say worse. Worse. So I don't know who's going to be in the top 8 next year, gentlemen, because we've said most teams are getting worse, which is a problem. Hey, Bears, better, worse, or same next year. They haven't won a comp. They didn't win a comp for the 111 years that they were in the first time, so they're probably going to be the same, yeah? Same. Kicked out of the comp. Fuck. Bottom 4. Bears are odds on for the spoon. I can't believe Leary's calling Broncos spoon next year instead of the Bears. 6.5 minutes to go. 20 Dragons 24, Tigers 16. Great game of footy. So let's go through the games. Great game of footy on Thursday night. 12-6 Roosters over Panthers. Roosters played very, very, very well. Panthers didn't play poorly, but they had no ideas in attack. None. Their attack looked very pedestrian, Panthers. The defence was solid. 12-6 game. It's a defensive game. Wasn't a 12-6 game like Para and the Dogs, where it was the worst game in rugby league history. It was a good game of footy. They were into each other. But Panthers look fucking shit out of ideas. And some of their defensive, fancy letting Cherry Evans step through to score. Unbelievable. So problems in Panther Town, I don't know. So out of that game, Panthers looked even more looked more shaky than they ever have. And Roosters look better than they have all year. Yeah, that's over 100 years ago, Potsy. That's what I was saying. I hadn't won in 100 years or something. Something like that. Got me on a technicality. Yeah, Panthers on the downhill. They got some work to do. And then because it's just a battle of the least shit, the Roosters were the least shit. They look good. Are Panthers still the favourite to win the comp? I don't know. I don't know if the Panthers are still the favourite to win the comp. You're a brave man to back against them, but it's starting to look that way. Steve Leary's fingers must be getting sore from all the O's and N's and E's he puts in Gawn next to the Panthers. He's been going on about it for a month. I've never seen more Gawns. Gone! I've never seen more Gawns than from one single human than I've seen from Steve Leary over the last month talking about the Panthers. They're playing now like a team that would win the minor premiership, but they're not playing like a team who's going to win the grand final, Jimbo. They seem to have lost the X factor, and you need X factor to win the comp. That's why the Broncos won it last year. They weren't the best team all year, but then they just had the X factor when they needed it in the finals. Panthers is, you know what? Fuck. Please don't hate me, Panthers fans, because I do like the Panthers. Starting to look a lot like the Sharks. Panthers are starting to look a lot like the Sharks. When someone's out in their attack, they lose all fucking direction. That's a bad burn, isn't it? Panthers look like the Sharks. Jesus Christ, that's harsh. I apologise. But it's a fair comparison at the moment. A little bit rudderless in attack. Cleary needs to step up. Dolphins and the Eagles. The Eagles look pathetic. They look inept. They've given up on the season. They want to be on holidays already. And the Dolphins did nothing to convince me that they can do any damage in the semi-finals. Fair take? Fair take or nah? Dolphins don't convince me at all, and Manly offered up absolutely nothing. We got problems. And I don't think the problems we got can be fixed in one off-season because we don't have the roster turnover. As I was saying before. What is going on in this group? Pissing me off. Anyway, got morons in the golf chat. Yeah, everyone's saying, I'm hearing a lot of so-called good judges say that they still reckon the Dolphins can win the comp. I'm not seeing that at all. Their defence is hopeless. I guess you could say the same thing about Brisbane last year, but no, I don't think the Dolphins can win the comp. No chance, none. Rabbits 22, Dogs 6. I wish the Dogs would make up their fucking mind about whether they want to be a football team or not. The Souths are trash. Souths are not a good football team. That's a big miss by the Dogs not winning that game. And they got away from them early and they just had nothing. The Dogs aren't ever going to be a team where they can chase down points. So because South will let you back into a game. South let Para back into a game last week. Para of all teams, the worst attacking team in the comp, Hamish. Para. South let them back in. So for South to get out in front of the Dogs and then the Dogs not be able to come back just shows how rotten the Dogs' attack is. But I don't know why it's rotten. They've only hired the spoon-winning coach from last year as their attack coach. Did I mention that earlier? I don't know why the Dogs can't score points still. Fuck. Has he got it? 24-22, 3 minutes left. The Tigers can't win this. I said the Tigers weren't going to win another game this year a month ago. So far, I've been right. Can't ruin it for me. Milk 24, Frauds 20. Frauds are frauds, man. It's getting a bit hot in the kitchen. The Frauds had that much ball on Canberra's line to score no points at the end of that game. And, I know Nico was running around like a blue-ass fly trying to organise things, but at some point you've just got to fucking take the line on, step up, create something. He nearly missed 3 or 4 passes from dummy half because he wasn't even watching. And they looked slow. They looked out of gas. They didn't even look like scoring the Sharks. And I know they copped a dud call, but I don't care. Like one dud call, you've had 100 sets on their line and couldn't get it across the line. You're frauds. Frauds. Lose to the Dragons the week before. Braden Trindle goes off with a dislocated shoulder. I get it. There's a team that definitely can't handle losing their halves like the Wars have. Jesus Christ. Tigers are away. Fancy Dewey not passing the ball. That's Dewey. Now, Steve Leary's convinced that the milk are going to make the 8. We've got a pineapple on it. They can't make the 8, mate. I don't think they can. I know you've done yourself. The only thing is you got Manly and the Cowboys trying so hard not to make the 8, but by some miracle you might trip and fall over. It'll be disgusting if it happens. It'll be disgusting. It'll be the worst pineapple robbery in rugby league history if it happens. But the milk can't make the 8, mate. Cowboys Eels, fuck. It wasn't a good game of footy, Hamish. Call it exciting if you want, but no one knew how to tackle. Mitchell Moses didn't know how to kick goals, and you played a team that doesn't want to make the 8. And you're carrying on like you won the comp. You beat the Cowboys. How hard is it? The Cowboys. Oh, yeah, jump on now, Hamish. I jumped on while they were still a chance, mate. We had that bet while they were still a chance. Good call jumping on a pineapple bet when they mathematically can't make the 8. Not all heroes wear capes, eh, Hamish? You got Luai next year, mate. I'll put a pineapple on with you, Hamish, that Luai doesn't help you. I don't know how we going to gauge that, but Luai's not helping you next year. I'll put a pineapple on you that he missed 426 tackles. I'll put a pineapple on you with you that by week 6, him and Moses hate each other. Hate each other. Can we have a pineapple on that? Waz 40, Broncos 6, 33 seconds left. Waz look good. We've already spoken about it. Waz look good. Broncos, I thought what was going to happen was the Broncos would have a go for 20 minutes and then they'd chuck it in because their season's done and dusted. They didn't even really have a go for 20 minutes. Reece Walsh has done his high-grade syndesmosis injury, which I have had myself, so he's going to be effed for at least 3 months. Although mine was in 2010, the technology might be a bit better, but they're going to have to screw his ankle back together, basically let all the tissue heal. He'll be in a boot for about 3 months. And he'll miss all the Australian games, I think. Wires look good. Wires look really good. Can't knock them. Can't knock them. Really happy for them. Like the style of footy, like their coach. I've said that before. He's going to be another underrated coach because he's a humble man. Love their hooker. Get him up here, want to boof him. Good hooker. And their depth is insane. Their depth is insane. Love it. Broncos in a world of froth and bubble. It doesn't get any better next year. Madge, coach New South Wales. Beautiful. Beautiful scenes. Knights 36, Titans 26. Knights should have handled this much better than they did, I think. They let some soft tries in. Wasn't convincing, Leary. Got convincing towards the end, but then unconvincing again. Not convinced. Like the Knights, want them to do well, not convinced. Anyone here convinced by the Knights? I'm convinced that they're probably good for one win in the semis and that's it. I don't think, back to the Sharks for a second, I don't think they strike a blow in the semis. Out in straight sets of Sharks is my call. No, they're not going to win the comp, but do you reckon they can? I'll give the Knights one win. They're not convincing me. Not convincing me. Dragons won. We got that tip right. Tigers aren't going to win another game this year. That was the only chance they had to win a game. Did we have a pineapple on that? What did we have on that, Leary? I'm sure we had a bet on that. That might have been the jerky bet. Next week's games, gentlemen, then we can get out of here. Panthers Storm. Who's your pick? Panthers, surely. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Storm could pull an upset, maybe. Are they going that bad? No, they will beat Para, and that's the jerky bet. No, Panthers. I let Mrs. Sesh do my tips while I was away. Did you see that? She got 5. It's better than I gone. Broncos, Raiders. Milker got to get that done down in Canberra. Broncos might not even turn up. Imagine coming second last. You've just lost your best player, and then you've got to go all the way down to Canberra to play -4 degrees. Who took the Broncos? Jim Jones has gone the Broncos. Wow, Jimbo. What are you doing, son? Didn't you hear what I just said? You're coming second last. Reece Walsh is gone. He knows something. Jim Jones knows something. I'd like a bit of what you're smoking. Jesus Christ. How are Adam Reynolds' hamstrings going to go in -4 degrees? Milk, get that one done. Oh, this will be good. Finns and the Eels. Hamish. Finns by 62. The Eels played their grand final this week against the Cowboys. Apparently, it's the greatest win in the club's history. How could they possibly back up? How could they possibly back up after a win over the Cowboys? The emotional letdown is going to be huge. The emotional letdown is going to be huge. Dolphins by 72. Is this a netball podcast? Sliverich. Haven't had a score for 6 weeks, mate. Don't pipe your head up here. AFL, we're not an AFL-friendly podcast. Caden Sliverich, everybody, one of the Sunday slices. He was on the top of the table after week 1. He's done nothing since, and he's an AFL supporter, so there's no good asking him what footy team he goes for. Next week will be our greatest win. AFL. 100% Leary. Good fella, though. Hello, Sliverich. Knights and Manly. Knights, but I think, not convincing. No, actually, you know what? I reckon the Knights win 36-6. Knights win big, win easy. Rabbits, Wars. I think Wars, but I also think danger game. Although the Rabbits played well this week, so that'll fuck them for next week. Hamish going the Rabbits. Oh, interesting take. I'm going to go the Wars. I'm going to go the Wars for sure. Wars, yeah. I don't rate. Souths are trash. Souths are trash. Dragons, Dogs. Dragons, Dogs. Oh, I'd love the Dragons to do it. Can we all just tip the Dragons for fun? Dragons, Dogs. I'm going to go the Dragons. Yes, let's go the Dragons. Let's go. Let's go. Yep, we're all going the Dragons. Very good. Titans, Sharks. Surely the frauds can't fuck that up, can they? Titans are looking pretty bad. Surely the Sharks aren't going that bad. There's a few on the Titans. I'm going to go... I'll jump on the Titans just for fun. Titans it is. Let's go. Fuck the frauds. Fuck them. And Roosters, Tigers. Here's one for you. Roosters are $1.15 on Sportsbet. Gamble responsibly. Tigers are $5.50. Tigers are $5.50 and not short enough. Roosters by... Is this one where the Roosters take the foot off the gas after the Penrith game, though? Oh, let's pick the score in that one. We don't normally do pick the score. Let's pick the score. Oh, 22-10. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. 22-10 Roosters. Yeah, 22-18 Leary. Yeah, we're thinking the same thing. We're on the same page, me and you, Leary, like peas in a pod. Like peas in a massive fucking 4XL pod. Like peas in a 4-man sauna, except you and I get in there and it was clearly only built for one man. That type of the big lads. Only 4 likes and 11 watching. Good call, Hamish. 8XL. Can everyone please like the video? Please comment. It does me a favour. Gets more idiots in here. Takes the focus off your face. Fuck faces. Well, it's good to be back. I think my throat's gone and I think I'm coming down with a cold. While I've been talking with you, I've 100% been getting sick, I reckon, which all I hear is a week off work and heaps of golf, Sliverich. I'm going to have 19 rounds this week. Go the mighty All Blacks versus Springboks. Have a good week, bros. Great to see you all in here. Thank you very much. Don't forget us on socials. Thanks to Hopper and DBG as always. Appreciate all your support, guys. Please like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a comment. Not the comments in here, the comments on the video. Appreciate you all. I really, really do. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Love yous. And I'll talk to yous next week. Peace.